From Wouxun and Better Safe Radio comes a brand new model of HT that is Part 95 type accepted for GMRS. The KG-UV9G Pro GMRS HT. We're going to talk about it today.
Shut up and sit down.
Ham Radio 2.0, where we do reviews, news, and how-tos of things that are new in ham radio, but also in GMRS radio. GMRS has kind of become a booming thing over the course of the last year with the lockdowns and human malware virus and all this kind of good stuff, and people are just getting more interested in radio. And GMRS is a good stepping stone before you get to ham radio, or it may just be that GMRS might be enough for some people, and that's totally fine. I have a GMRS license. My name is Jason. I'm KC5HWB, but I'm also WRFK311. That is my GMRS call sign. GMRS is a general mobile radio service, and I compare it to ham radio in a video that I'll post right here. So go watch that later if you're confused on what GMRS is. This is a brand new radio from BetterSafeRadio.com. They do pre-configured radios. I did a video a while back about their UV9 Papa from Wouxun. That is not a unique radio to Better Safe Radio. You can buy a UV9 Papa at multiple websites, but they take it and they program it for you and put a lot of extra features into it, and it's a really cool radio for the ham radio community. This specific model right here, of course, is in the UV9 series of radios from Wouxun, but it is the UV9 Golf for GMRS. 999 memory channels. It comes pre-programmed with all these channels that are receive only. Since it is Part 95 certified for this radio, for this model, I should say, it only transmits on GMRS and some FRF frequencies, but it will receive on many other frequencies besides that. Inside of the box here, let me show you inside the box here before we get too far into it. Not really much different. There's a really good manual that comes here. This is good, bettersaferadio.com. My viewers get a 7% off discount from anything from bettersaferadio.com. That coupon code I'll overlay here on the screen, but I'll also put it in the YouTube description below on this video. YouTube and other platform description. This video will be posted on full30.com, on Rumble, and a couple of other places as well. So that was the box, and this is the actual HT. Let me zoom down here. So this is the face of the radio. This is the, right next to it, I'll lay down the UV9 Papa. This is the UV9 Papa. You can see the number right here. This is the UV9 Golf. The difference between these two radios, I mean, they're basically the same thing on the outside. They look very similar. Both come with the same size battery. This one's thicker because I've got the belt clip on it. I don't have the belt clip back here. But of course, it takes a belt clip. Right there is the belt clip connector, which connects to the battery. I don't care for that myself, but it works just fine. I'd rather it connect to the radio itself, but whatever. It works just fine either way. So let's take that one, set it aside for the moment. This is the video. This is the screen of the radio here. You've got the top band selected where it says main. I can change that by typing band and go down to the bottom band, down to the top band. I can scan. If I hold that down, there we go. Scan all of your GMRS frequencies, and the GMRS frequencies are in a bank by themselves, and you can tell it which bank of frequencies and channels to scan on the radio. And you can do that by going in here and going to scan. Nope, that's right. Menu number 49, scan GP for group. And I've got one GMRS. Group 2 is GMRS RU. Group 3 is MERS. 4 is MMS. 5 is ham RAC. So you can look up all these abbreviations that they use in it. Again, this radio comes pre-programmed from Better Safe Radio. So you don't have to worry about programming anything. So you can scan through all the GMRS frequencies. The menu does have more than 49. Let's see. 60-something. Yeah, there we go. 61 different menus. You can reset it back to factory with that menu right there. It has a push-to-talk on the side here. This button up here at the top. This is the push-to-talk for the non-selected band. You see how the main is up here on the band? This big push-to-talk button on the left is the transmit, WRFK311. And then if I push this button at the top, it selects the non-main band, WRFK311. If I want to switch bands, the same is true. Now the big PTT will key up the main band, WRFK311, and then this smaller PTT will key up the non-main band. So it goes both ways, WRF K311. These two buttons right here are up and down buttons, I believe. Actually, that opens the squelch. A long press of the top button turns on the flashlight, turns it off again. A short press of the bottom button opens up the squelch for monitor mode. And a long press looks like it starts a timer of some sort. Okay. Not sure that's useful, but okay, that's fine. Menu, TDR, you can turn, if you've got activity on both bands, you can hit a short press on this TDR button, and it mutes the non-selected band, the sub-band. And then you can hit band, and it'll switch back and forth between these bands. In one band, the sub-band stays muted, no matter whether it's on the top or the bottom. And hitting TDR again opens up both bands, so it'll receive both at the same time. This is a dual receive radio, so you can receive two different bands and frequencies at the exact same time, and they'll crash in one another. So it's useful if you want to monitor more than one frequency, more than one channel. You can monitor a ham radio frequency or a ham radio simplex, and then you can monitor GMRS, or you can monitor two GMRS frequencies at the same time. Right there, this is your power cable. Right there for programming cable, you can program other stuff into the radio for receive only. The battery here comes off right there. The 3200 milliamp hour battery, which you can see right there, lithium ion. There's the part there, part number BLO012. I think it's the same battery as a lot of these Wouxun radios. So KG-UV9G, GMRS, there's your serial number and FCC. And all that kind of good stuff comes with the radio right there. So we put that back on. Just like that. And switch back over here. And now I've got my Radioddity GM30, which I just did a review on. I'll link that one up here as well. And I've got my KG-UV9 Papa from Better Safe Radio. What I will say is I was doing some testing before the video started, and it seemed like the Radioddity had a better sounding transmit audio. But I think what it actually is that the Wouxun radio has a better receive speaker. Okay, so let me do some testing right here. I'll show you what I mean. We're going to get on GMRS channel 3. There it is, WRF K311. Now, if I go here, let's turn that one off for a second. So we're on GMRS channel 3 on both radios. Okay, WRF K311, WRF K311. Okay, so you see how that sounded? And WRF K311, WRF K311, WRF K311. I don't know how well it's transmitting on the video, but the receive on this one sounded a lot better than the receive on this one. So I didn't know if it was the receive speaker or if it was the transmit audio from this radio, this cheaper radio, being better than this UV9G. It's not. It's actually a better receive speaker inside of the Wouxun radio. Now here's the proof of that. I'm going to turn my UV9 Papa, which is not a GMRS radio, but it receives GMRS frequencies. So I can't transmit over here. If I try to transmit, that's what happens. So it doesn't transmit, but it will receive. So I'm going to turn my audio down here. Turn that one down. This is the, well, let's do this one first. Let's do the GM30 first from Radioddity. Okay. WRF K311, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's that one. Turn this one back on. Now this is the UV9 Golf from Better Safe Radio. WRF K311. Ooh, boy. WRF K311, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. WRF K311, WRF K311, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one outputs more power, it sounds like. That's why we got more squeal. But they sounded almost the same in this radio because of the receive speaker. So I just wanted to point that out because I thought it was important that the Wouxun radios have better receive internal speakers than some of your less expensive radios do. So, you know, I'm not telling you not to buy the Radioddity. I did a review on this, and from everything I've used on it so far, it's been working great. I know people are going to ask me what the power output is on this UV9 Golf, so let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, like I've said in past videos, but I didn't mention yet today, GMRS service allows you to use interchangeable antennas. The FRS service, which is a free service and you don't have to pay for, you have fixed antennas on the radios. You can't take off the antenna and put on a larger antenna or put on a external antenna. You put a mag mount on your car with an external antenna coax coming down into your vehicle and run this to it. You can't do that on FRS, but you can on GMRS. So we're going to take the antenna off. We're going to put this adapter on. I'm going to put it on the meter and see what it does. Right there, hopefully you can see that. It's a little bit bright. It's on GMRS channel 1. GMRS 1C is what it says on the top band. That's where we are right there. That's pushing right at 4 watts. I'm going to go to GMRS channel 8. I'm just going to pick one. And it's on high power also. There it is. That's a little bit better view of it there. High power. The H at the top is high power. That was on medium power. It was on medium power. You can see at the top there, underneath where it says GMRS 1C, right underneath GMRS, there's an M for medium. So we're going to change it to middle power. So it only goes to middle and low power on that channel. It doesn't go to high power. So due to restrictions in the GMRS service, there's different power settings available for different types of channels. So some of them are low power, like GMRS channels 8 through 13, or no, 8 through 14 are all low power. You can see an L underneath where it says GMRS right there. So there's an L right there underneath where it says GMRS. Key that up. It's about 1/4 of a watt on low power. And then on some of these repeater frequencies, on the higher frequencies, we've got GMRS 16, 17, and 18. There's GMRS 18 right there. And I know it's hard to see because the focus on this cheapy webcam is no good. So GMRS H underneath that for high power. And high power is about 4.5 watts. So it's doing about the same on high power and on medium power for the lower GMRS channels. There we go. 4 watts on GMRS 1. The ones in the middle are shared frequencies with the FRS service, which is why they're limited in power to low power only. And then some of these higher frequencies, GMRS 15 through 22, are given about 4.5, almost 4.5 watts, 4.25 watts on those frequencies on high power. So it's going to be doing between 4 and 4.5 watts on medium and high power, depending on what channel you're on. So that's pretty good. You know, a lot of these HTs, like the B-Tech that I actually recorded a video on, back when I did my best GMRS HTs of 2021, I mentioned that the B-Tech was one of the better ones that's available today. And Baofan Tech is a sponsor of this show, so I want to support their products, and I really like that one. But clearly on their website, it states that that's about a 2 or 2.5 watt radio. Well, I had a lot of people come along in the channel after that and say, no, it's a 5 watt radio. It's a 5 watt radio. I've got one. It's a 5 watt radio. I'm like, real? Well, their own website says 2.5 watts or 2 or 2.5 watts, whatever it is. So I grabbed one and I tested it, and it's not a 5 watt radio. I got about 3.5, maybe 4 watts. You're going to see a video on that upcoming. But, you know, 4 to 5 watts on GMRS is pretty good. Most of your ham radios that are dual band radios have a VHF and a UHF band. And on the UHF band, which is where GMRS, most of them are about 4 watts. So 4 watts on UHF, or the 440 to 460 frequency range, is pretty standard. Doesn't mean you can't get more. You can get an 8 or a 10 watt in ham radio. You can get an 8 or a 10 watt HT that does 8 to 10 watts on both bands. But on GMRS, being that all the channels are in the 460 range, you know, 4 watts is pretty standard. Let me know below if you put a comment, if you have this radio, if you like it, what you like about it, if you've monitor any of the frequencies it comes pre-programmed with, which ones do you like, and check the description below also for the 7% off coupon code that you can use on pretty much any radio product on bettersaferadio.com for my viewers. 73, which is ham radio speak for good day or goodbye or, you know, farewell. Good luck. Everyone have a good afternoon, and we'll catch you next time.